Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Chris with Drift HQ.
And I'm Crickett with Drift HQ. And this is the Drift HQ build series for Joan Barion's 2020 Formula Drift Pro 1 car, C7 Z06.
It's that time.
What time is it?
Dyno time.
Dyno time.
Boy's a little bit nervous. We're gonna rip the anchors out the dyno or blow something up, so let's get it. You riding with me?
I don't know, am I? Probably. No!
Today's the day, baby. Woo! Yes!
So is this how we do it? We don't trailer cars to the dyno, we just drive them on the street?
Right over there.
That's how Florida rolls?
This is how we roll. I don't know how Florida rolls.
Ricky race cars on it.
Oh, look at the little flappy do.
Yeah, that's how we're going to cut that off. That's because we didn't want to put the bottom part of the bumper on. Looks better without it. That way you can see all of our hardware. Holy shit, it's a race car on the road.
It's Ricky right there. Hey, Ricky.
Oh, getting ready for that initiation.
Suburban swerving.
Focus, Max.
Where's this guy come from?
Oh, what's up?
Hi Raymond.
How you doing, bud?
Are you ready to hear the sounds of V8 for the next 2-3 hours?
Oh hell yeah!
Pro Charge V8.
Here we can hear a turbo one right now.
Where? Is that one? No, that's definitely not that one. Is this the turbo V8? American.
That's a big turbo. You know that? That's a big
Today was supposed to be dyno day for Barion's car. Unfortunately, we are not going to get onto the dyno. It is the owner of the dyno's daughter's birthday today, and I guess was poor planning on our part, not planning ahead. So we're going to leave it here. We're going to come back tomorrow and get it all wrapped up, and at least we'll have some more time on the dyno because it's already, what, 5 something, 5:15, And normally we get done working at 6, so if we can get here bright and early, we'll get some more time, dial it in, and we might even change out some pulleys to see what our high and low horsepower is with our 3 different pulley options. So, see y'all tomorrow.
Alright, so it's the next day. We got Barion's car back there. We're gonna do a couple passes. We got Max from Engine Pro, you know, on the computer doing all this thing. We're gonna make some power. Hopefully we don't miss it. Oh god, it's happening.
Alright, what's going on, guys? We're here with the Drift HQ boys, the Engine Pro guys. Of course, I'm with ProAm Fuel Injection. We've got John Barion's Corvette on the dyno. We just made a little over 600 horsepower, and this thing is spinning the tires. So we're going to play with it a little bit, see what else we can do to get this thing to hook up on the dyno, and see exactly how much power it puts out. But everything's looking good right now, so let's see what Max does behind the keyboard.
Alright, for sure, let's go back over there. Really loud over there. All these fans to keep this car cool.
E aí, tudo beleza? Estamos trocando os pneus aqui porque quando vem a pressão, limpa. Então agora trocamos os pneus, botamos os pneus novos, vamos dar uma rodada com ele e depois sim, vamos acelerar aí para ver a potência do rapaz. Vamos lá, acompanha aí.
Pop the freaking coolant thing off of it. Mr. Magic Man.
That's a 5,000 sensor.
You have arrived.
I don't have enough to do over at the shop.
I don't know. Regardless, cooling system pressure is not any higher as long as your cap is relieving, but if a radiator cap isn't relieving, then it's a separate problem. It might just be a bad radiator cap because cap's set to pop off at 16 psi in the back of the car, and he's getting 21 psi up at the front of the motor, so it's very possible our cap's just bad. So we're going to try and do a pull with the radiator cap cracked and see if we're still building excess pressure in the engine. That'll kind of tell us what's going on with it. So top off some water and see what happens. Quick release piece from Chevy. We'll go from there.
Yeah, is that what we got to do? You're gonna leave me alone again?
Well, I left the radiator cap slightly loose, so
Alright.
Cooling system won't pressurize. As long as it doesn't go back to back to back pulls, then we should be able to keep it at a reasonable temperature. Coolant's still circulating, air's still flowing. So, but I gotta roll. I got too much to do.
Alright. Love you. Hi Chris, what are you here to do?
So, we're gonna check a few things. We started running out of fuel pump, or possibly running out of fuel. We're not sure yet. We got a drop in fuel pressure at high RPMs. What was that last pull?
Like 980 or something like that.
So 980, we're pretty much at 1,000 horsepower. So the pumps are staged in the back of the car, so it only runs the other one under load conditions. So we're gonna check to make sure that both fuel pumps are active, so we can test our output signals and stuff from our ECU, as well as just to test each pump individually, make sure they're both kicking on. And if that works out, we may pulley down, not necessarily because we need more boost, but we can keep it a little bit more conservative, but have better supercharger response. Because right now we're peaking power around about 5,000 RPMs, kind of like a laggy turbo setup. So ProCharger should be a little more responsive than that, so hopefully our pulley down is going to be enough to do it. We'll find out.
You're the gynecologist. You're qualified to speak on behalf of Max.
Alright, so we pretty much just wrapped up with the Corvette on the dyno, at least for today. We've got most of the bugs worked out. Obviously, this car hasn't seen the street, it hasn't seen the track yet, and lots of things were changed on this car, as you've seen in the videos. If you haven't, go back, watch the earlier videos, watch the next ones too. Right now, we're basically out of fuel. We need more fuel pump because this thing is super thirsty. On our base runs, we've surpassed the 900 horsepower mark so far, with basically no timing on it. So we'll see what it does. If we can get the fuel that it needs and we can do everything we want, this thing's going to be well over 1,000, well over 1,100 horsepower possibly. We're going to have to add a wastegate to control the boost because it's going to make a little bit too much power. But let's stay tuned. We'll see what happens once we get this thing back to the shop, and we'll get it on the dyno next time.
have removed the fuel pumps out of Barion's car. The 425s, is that what they were?
450s.
450s that we had weren't enough fuel pressure, and so we switched to the 525s and went from Bosch to, what are these ones? I don't know.
I have no idea.
They're bigger. They're smaller, but they're bigger, if that makes any sense. So our other ones, I already brought them inside. They're almost twice the size of this, but we get an extra 125 out of these bad boys. So we had to make a couple modifications on here. The wires weren't long enough, but we're doing our nice little butt connectors in here, connecting all this together, and I'm about to reinstall this. And Chris is currently working on doing the wastegate for the supercharger, and we have to take apart the water pump, which he already did, and I have to take and cut these fans off right here because the factory water pump was actually starving our aftermarket water pump. This wasn't forcing enough water through, so we were getting cavitation in our water pump that's in line. So I'm going to take and cut these bad boys off just so they don't get in the way of ruining anything. We're going to remain with the pulley on here just to mess with our belts and stuff. So nice little cheat code. I'm just going to cut these off and just let the water flow through. We have a big enough water pump to already handle what the motor needs. So we're just going to get rid of these and put everything back together. And she's going back to dyno because we're going over 1,000 horsepower this time. The only thing I gotta do is put the pins.
Crickett swallow.
But those are tight?
Swallow.
Those are tight?
All right.
I just test fit.
No, that's what I was asking. Did you tighten those
I
collars?
tighten, but I have to tighten them more and put the thingies in there so they don't back out.
Use that boyfriend voice with me.
I will use that boyfriend voice all day long. Okay, so check it out. We got his bumper put on. We got his fenders done. The hood, we just did some new latchy boys. Latches O'Houlihan. So when we did the whole front end on this, we didn't incorporate the hinges on the Corvette because they're a pain in the ass and nobody wants to work on the front of an engine up underneath the hood. So we made this so where the whole thing pops right up.
1, dot 2, dot 3. Good.
One more. Let's get up and naggle the bagel a little bit.
Just lost 1 minute for our 5-minute timeout.
1 minute on a 5-minute timeout. I'm still fitting it, man.
So previously we had a 20 psi pulley on there, but with the 20 psi pulley we only saw 20 psi like at absolute red line. I think we were revving like 7,400 RPMs on this thing. So now we pulley down to the 27 psi wastegate, or I'm sorry, the 27 psi pulley. But what we did is we put our wastegate on here with the boost controller. That's going to let us regulate this down to 20 psi, but it's going to make our boost come in hopefully about 2,000 to 3,000 RPMs sooner. We can see full boost. So right now our low end was lacking a little bit of power. According to Max, we still had like 575 horsepower at like 1,900 RPMs, but Max wants more, so we're going to give him some more.
We're going to give him what he wants.